Okay, so step three, and I'm going to grab this starter snippet. This is filtering by date. Nope, sorry, this is selecting by band. Just kidding. And so here we go. I'm going to paste that in there, give myself some space. So to select by band, I'm going to create a new variable to hold the output, and it's going to be the input dot select. And so again, my input here is step two, which is an image collection, right? It's a filtered image collection, but it's an image collection object. So if I go to image collection and then go to select, you'll see that selects bands from an image in an image collection, and it returns the image collection with the selected bands. And it takes the selectors, a list of names, um, which is what we want. And then we can rename it if we wanted to right off the bat. But we're just, I think, in this step, we're just going to select the bands that we're after. And so we're after the LST day 1 kilometer. So we want the land surface temperature during the daytime at this 1 kilometer pixel. And so I'm going to, right, because if you looked at this, it just needs to be, it says a list is what we should be feeding it. So I think to keep things safe, you want to say, let me copy this, and I want to create a list. So I'm going to use my square brackets, and I'm going to paste this in here. But I think it also has to be a string. So the band name, usually when you see something like this as a property, it means that you're going to have to enter it as a string, or else you can enter it as a number if there are properties that are numbers. But for this case, this kind of string of characters, I'm going to enter as a string object within a list as the argument to the select. And I'm going to hit run, and it should be fine. And I think just for fun, I'll take that off and hit run, and it should throw me an error. Yeah, LST day is not defined. Because if you don't put it in a string, it's going to think it's a variable that you've defined here. Um, but if you put it in a string, it's going to kind of know that it's looking for a property of the image. Is that fair? So then let's go through and let's kind of check. So I'm going to say print, and this is going to be my step three checks, and put a comma, and I'm just going to give myself some space. So give me a line to type on. Don't worry about it. I'm gonna finish this off, and so what we want to do now is we've selected the band. So I'm going to say, first of all, let's just look at what happens if I say step three and hit run. And what we should get is a list of our image collection, and we should still have, as it thinks about it, 31 elements there. And great, but there's going to should be a key difference. And so let's just look at the first one. So if I say step three first and hit run, and one thing I think I'll point out now is see how it kind of clunks through, and it takes a while to report here because it's printing out all this other stuff. And so I'm going to go ahead and kind of select all of these, hold the command down on a Mac or the control down on a Windows, and then hit that / underneath the question mark. And that's going to kind of very quickly comment out these statements. So now when I hit run, it's going to not bother doing that print and that print. It's just going to give me that. And the script runs a little bit faster. This is a good kind of practice to get into, like when you've printed and you've retrieved the info, it's often good, rather than deleting it, to just comment it out so that it's still there if you want to go back and print it out again. But you're telling the computer to ignore it as it processes your script. You can't comment out the steps themselves because you need these containers as inputs to the next step. But you can comment out the prints as you after you've gotten the info from them. So anyway, that very quickly got us our first image in the image collection for step 3, and you can see that the band now only has one. If I wanted to just kind of compare it to this one so that we can see the difference, bring that back and hit run. And so we had 12, and we just now have a single band. And we can do this, we can say step 3 band names to kind of quickly see that, or step 3 band names size to quickly see that. And what you should see is that we've gone from, right, haha, after telling you that, I forgot that we need this to be the method of an image, not the image collection. But so what we're getting here is LST one band when we used to have all of these and count of 12. Is that fair? So that's all we've done there, but we haven't changed the, if I say step 3 size, you can see that the number of images in the image collection has not changed. It's just the number of bands associated with each image. Is that fair? So that's what we're doing there. I'm going to hit save and keep going.